Hello and welcome back to some more Total Tank Simulator. Now in today's video I'm going to be covering the new Italy DLC that has just come out for Total Tank Simulator. It has 13 new units, it's got 5 maps, also got a campaign feature with 2 campaigns, I believe 9 missions overall. And as you can see, most importantly, it has a very juicy new loading screen. The mouse is gone and we've got this little turd mobile which has replaced it. But I'm going to be covering all of that with timestamps down below in the description and at the bottom so you can skip to wherever you want to go. But first, to celebrate the launch of the new Total Tank Simulator Italy DLC, the development team from Total Tank Simulator have actually given me 6 DLC codes to give away to the community, so thank you very much for them. I'm also actually going to be adding on a further 2 codes myself, and so over the next 4 videos there's going to be 2 code giveaways per video, and the first of which is going to start today and will be announced in the next video, so stay tuned for that because I will be discussing that later in the video. So as you load into the sandbox game mode, as per usual, you have your winter, desert, spring and autumn maps, but now you can also see at the very end we've got Sicily right here with Cyprus Hills, Italian Straits, Salerno Beach, however you pronounce that, Forgotten Rivers and Mediterranean Vineyards. These are the 5 maps. I will be taking you through that shortly, but first we're going to go into the flat map just so I can show you all of the new units. So this right here is going to be the lineup of the new Italian tanks, and first up we have this little guy right here. It's the L333 meme mobile. This little thing is, I don't know, can you class this as a tank? I don't think you can class this as a tank, I'm not gonna lie, but that's here. Now what you will see, guys, is you obviously will see some German vehicles in here because obviously the Italians in a tank simulator, they're gonna need a little bit of help from their World War II vehicles. So as you move along here straight away, you can also see they have the Panzer 1B, which is just gonna help flesh out their team because they didn't really have enough tanks to properly make a good team, I imagine. Moving along, we've got this little cute guy here as well. I'm not gonna lie, I already am in love with... Oh my god, I didn't... Oh wait, is that a mustache or a smiley face? Oh my god, they've given the Italian troopers mustaches. I already love this new DLC. What an excellent addition. Whoever, Total Tank Simulator dev team, whoever's decision that was deserves a promotion or a pay rise. Sort it out. Then we got the M1340 right here. Looks like a fairly robust tank. It looks starting to get into some sort of slightly more serious territory. Obviously, we got the Panzer 4 over here just to flesh it out. Now, look at the difference here. It just looks like it just looks like a better made tank, let's be honest. For some reason, the Italian tanks are all just so tall. So tall. They never quite figured it out. And also, it's just kind of a box on top of another box. But this guy's also smiling. At least they're having a good time. And this guy right here is having the best time. He's chilling right up there. So what's that? That's the P2640. Okay, that is the P2640. This one here is the P1441. They both look quite cool. And actually, originally when I saw them post this update, this DLC rather, I kind of thought like yellow. I don't know how I feel about yellow, but it's already kind of growing on me. I hope it doesn't blend into the maps, that much I will say. Then over here, as you can see, we have the very familiar King Tiger, the Navlavlavla, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce. I never have been able to pronounce and probably never will because I'm not even going to try. And then last but not least, the E100. So that is the Italian tanks. Now moving straight on to the anti-tank, and we are starting off with this little thing here, which for some reason has a lot of character and personality. It almost looks like a cannon from like an old wooden ship or something like that. This thing looks wildly outdated, like some sort of World War I mobile artillery or something like that. I don't know, but it's quite cool. It's got character. I like it. And then we have this thing right here, which is lovingly named Anti-Tank. Good job. Again, it's got some style points with some wavy bits on the top, which I don't really know what functional purpose that would have served, but it is Italian World War II engineering after all. Now these things kind of just look a little bit like Stugs. I must admit my Italian tank knowledge isn't as good as it should be, so here I'm going to be doing a little bit of learning as well, to be honest with you. All I know is, well, the reason I don't know much about them is because they weren't very memorable, that much I will say. So the Total Tank Simulator development team must have dug deep to try and find these. But that looks a little bit unfinished to me. That looks a little bit unfinished. I don't know if that's a graphical glitch. In fact, actually, just to make sure I'm not being overly critical, I'm going to turn my graphics up to beautiful, and hopefully we'll see a difference. Or maybe I would have to reset it. I don't know. But in the picture you can see just here, it doesn't look like that. But for some reason, right there, it looks oh, hold on. No, there we go. It's rendered in. It's rendered in. False alarm, folks. It's very finished. Don't worry. It's rendered in. It's finished. And then presumably the same has happened for the Hetzer. Yeah, I wonder why that happened. That was interesting. I don't know why that happened. But again, they have a Hetzer, which is good because it means that this team isn't going to be like France or Poland, which are just very limited and don't really stand a chance against most of the other teams. This is actually quite a well fleshed out team so far. Now we also have this thing over here, which I'm not going to lie, just looks looks like I think it's actually just this, but with a bigger gun. Am I right in saying that? It looks like that. Oh no, it's got, yeah, I think that's actually probably exactly what it is. Yeah. In fact, that's definitely what that is. 7 and Semoventi. This thing looks a little bit like an 88, like a British tank destroyer or something like that. And then again, we've got the Jagdtiger over here. Okay, I'm quite excited to show you this section right here. These are the special tanks, and I think you can probably already tell why I'm quite excited. I know I'm not looking at it right now. I'm going to breeze quickly past this fire tank here, just show you that there is one. And we're going to go straight to this seemingly mobility scooter. Like, or what is this? I'm not sure if any of you have ever seen Top Gear. It looks like that little, like, mobility scooter that Jeremy Clarkson designed. Honestly, this thing is probably going to be one of my favorite units pretty much straight away. Look how epic that is. And then again, we've got this pretty beefy looking armored car type thing, which is apparently a pirate tank. In fact, it just looks like a really beefy old armored car. That's actually pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. Now, moving on to the artillery section, it is much the same everywhere else, other than what you can see right here. Now, obviously, we've got the smoke artillery out front because it's OP, and fire artillery at the back because, well, we're not even going to talk about the fire artillery. But one thing I have spotted already, I immediately looked at this in the pictures down below, and I thought, that looks absolutely epic. And then I zoomed in on it on the map, and I was like, is this an artillery piece or just a big handheld rifle? I honestly can't tell, but it does somehow, once again, have some character. Now, I'm gonna say these aren't smiley faces. They are mustaches, I think. However, we're gonna just say they're smiley faces because it makes it more fun. But again, it's much the same elsewhere. We got our smoke artillery, cluster artillery, we got our cannon artillery, and then we got our fire artillery down the back there. Now, moving right on to the mobile artillery, we have the Semoventi 9053, which looks pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. Again, it looks a little bit like a tank destroyer, not a mobile artillery, but it does look quite cool. But I'm even more excited to show you this one, because this boy right here is looking like he's having a great time. I wonder if he stays in that position. That's pretty epic. Also, look how flat this thing is. It's basically just a hull with a massive gun in it. But those both look pretty smart. And for the rocket artillery, as you can see right here, we are going German, because presumably they weren't able to find anything from the Italian side to actually put in here for mobile rocket artillery. But again, I'm happy with that. That looks quite smart, and it'll be a good addition. It helps flesh out the team. Now, moving into the support section, I'm not going to show you all the bunkers and all that kind of stuff, because obviously they're the same across every single team. And I'm not going to show you the bog standard recovery, the mine spawner, or the mines, because obviously they are the same elsewhere. But what I will show you is they have two options for a recovery vehicle, which is really, really interesting. Now, this one's actually got a fair amount of armor points right here, and has extra cool points. Look at that. He's basically driving a mobile bathtub. I don't know how this has so much armor, but apparently it does, and I like it. And here's our lovely looking Fiat transport right here. The guy's having a great time in here. And then there's the two armored cars, which both, once again, look quite cool. I must admit, the pirate tank is still my favorite unit. It looks so beefy for a pirate tank, but these two armored cars do look quite cool as well. And for the infantry, as ever, you can see effectively down here, it's the same as everybody else. Obviously, the Americans have a shotgun, which I would like to see more unique units and stuff like that to each of the teams. But the infantrymen, the standard rifleman right here. Then we've got this SMG guy, which I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty epic. I'm not really sure what that helmet is. I'm not sure. I must admit, I've never seen that historically. But again, sporting an awesome mustache. Oh my god, it's Mustache Team. The Italian DLC is just full of mustaches, and that gun, I'm not gonna die, does look pretty epic. In fact, we may well have found our thumbnail right there. We'll see. Depends if we find any more mustaches. Oh, look at this sniper. It looks like Robin Hood if he didn't have a bow and instead, for some reason, found a sniper rifle. Again, looking quite smart. Moving over, we have the assault trooper, which I think just looks like the rifleman. But boy, you're in for a surprise when you see what the flamethrower trooper looks like. This guy's almost looks like he's wearing full hazmat or some sort of like reflective clothing. I don't know. But once again, it is a new mustache. I absolutely love what they've done with this Italian team. It's pretty epic. Please don't let me down. We have once again for the ATR have a different style of mustache. I think this is epic. I'm already loving this. Now, thankfully, the Italians are actually going to have a full air force, unlike the French and Polish teams, which feel a little bit unfinished. They are going to be sporting, as you can see, the full range of equipment for the Italian DLC down here. So I'm quite impressed with this. We got two different fighters. We got this guy who seems to be bouncing around on the right hand side here, and then moving over here we have a slightly, which I presume is an upgraded fighter, but it doesn't actually say. Let's just look at the armor points. Yeah, it is an upgraded fighter. And then I think the same goes here for the two dive bombers. this is an upgraded dive bomber, but it doesn't actually say that it is, which is quite interesting. But by looking purely at the health points, we can see that it is the upgraded version. I think they just haven't added that in. Now, I will say, this jet fighter, really cool to see another jet fighter in the game, because obviously the French and the Polish don't even have that, so we've got a 5th team with a jet fighter, which I will absolutely be using. And what's this on top right here? Oh, look at that. That looks quite... At first, for some reason, I thought it was a rainbow, but no. Weirdly, somehow looks like a Zeppelin with, like, wings on it and stuff like that. In fact, it doesn't at all, does it? I'm talking rubbish. And then we've also got a tactical bomber here, so good to see that they've actually fleshed out the Air Force for this. Now, I was worried for the anti-air that they were just going to give them German units, but it looks like they've actually got the job done right here. We got this guy. Let's just check for new mustache. Let's just check for new mustache. This is important stuff here, folks. Important stuff. No, same mustache, but pretty epic, actually. That does just look like a big old machine gun. For some reason, I don't know what that harp-looking thing on his shoulder is. I don't know what the function of that is, but there's that. This big old boy right here looks like that might be a flak gun, which hopefully is not going to be ridiculously overpowered. Hopefully they have adjusted that, but I don't think they have. So, but then obviously moving over here, which looks quite dangerous. They've got fuel cans all over the side of their vehicle, so if one of those gets hit, they're going down in flames. But it also looks like they got a machine gun to defend the back of this anti-aircraft gun, this mobile anti-aircraft gun, which is actually pretty epic. So this thing might be pretty epic against infantry, even though it's a mobile AA, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for that. I was going to show you the buildings, but then I thought there's probably absolutely no point in doing that, because basically you know exactly what you're going to get. It's the exact same thing as all the other ones. They're just slightly reskinned. But what I am going to show you is one of the classified units. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this thing here, where do I even begin? What do I say about it? Let's look at it. It's got 1,000 health points, and it's got 7,000 armor points. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially dubbing it the school bus. The Italian classified unit we've all been waiting for is the school bus, or a fire engine? It's like a breed between a school bus and a fire engine, and a kettle. It looks like a kettle. What is this thing? Hold on, it actually legit looks like a kettle. What on earth is this thing? That is absolutely epic. I cannot wait to try that out. And then up here, of course, we have the transport plane. They couldn't not, could they? Gotta have the transport plane. This thing looks like the banana plane. I don't know what to say about it. Banana plane and school bus down there. So that about concludes it for all of the new units added to the game. So what I will be doing next is I'll be taking you through the map, showing you some gameplay, and then giving you my thoughts and ideas. But first, as I said in the intro, there's actually going to be 4 videos worth of code giveaways, and there's going to be 2 codes given away in this video. So basically, to be in a chance with winning, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe, and comment down below some Italy DLC ideas I can do in the sandbox game mode, and then I will be randomly selecting each one of those winners, and then announcing them in the next video. So I'll be announcing the winners in the next video, and also posting out a challenge for the next set of code giveaways, and this is going to go on for 4 episodes of Total Tank Simulator, so stay tuned for that. So just to recap, all you gotta do is like the video, subscribe down below, and one idea of something I can do in the Total Tank Simulator sandbox game mode for the Italy DLC, so that I can make a video out of it, and hopefully your idea gets chosen. It doesn't matter how good or bad your idea is, I'm gonna be putting all of your names into a random name generator and announcing the winners next video. So now that I've shown you all of the new units, I now want to show you all of the new maps, and we're gonna start off with Cypress Hills, and I'm actually quite excited to see this new art style, because as you can see in the background here, it looks like quite brightly lit maps, which are always really fun to play on. Okay, so this is the first map. This is Cypress Hills, and I've got to say I'm really happy they added these in, because the only maps that I could really enjoy playing were the summer ones. The autumn ones were too dark. The white ones, you couldn't find any of the units. The winter ones, you couldn't find any of your units because they just got lost and there was so much on the landscape. And then the desert ones were always just a little bit too basic. But these maps, these new Italy DLC maps, have a lot of character. Look at the kind of vineyards. Look at the hills. This little strategic hill right here is going to be quite fun. I can imagine some sort of a king of the hill scenario here. Some more vineyards over here. And then this is the other side here. It just feels like a pretty kind of like standard fun map to play on. There's not too many trees, so we can actually probably do quite a lot with this map. It's difficult to make like a really good map work in Total Tank Simulator, because if there's too many trees, you can't really see your units and it's not good for videos. This feels quite open with some high ground places that are going to be fun for some sandbox game mode stuff. You can see right here, I can already imagine the smoke artillery going down here. And so the second map on the list right here is Italian Straits, which already looks like quite a good map. I do like an empty map, or a map with like a big field for a big confrontation, because it makes it really easy to make good, fun, interesting videos where you can see the skirmish from all angles, and then there's some interesting terrain features around the sides and stuff like that, kind of like, what was it, Hill Sanctuary with a church on top, which is pretty epic. This is exactly what I was hoping for. There's just gonna be a massive scrap up in the middle over this river, and actually this is gonna make for some really interesting videos. I can probably make some more interesting kind of like beach D-Day invasion videos along this coastline here. I say coast, but we can just basically imagine it's a coast or something like that. But look at this. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And again, the Italian, Sicilian countryside looking absolutely gorgeous, with not too much to kind of like spoil out, and some features down the back here with a lovely little well. So yeah, in my book, this is again another good map. In fact, actually interesting. They got these rock features. I wish you could tell your guys to take cover. But again, a nice open map that should hopefully, and has a big interesting feature that none of the other maps currently have. This should hopefully make for some cool videos. Okay, now third on the list is Salerno Beach, which I'm gonna have to learn to pronounce if it's a good map. And it again does look like quite an open map, so they're doing well so far, because there's one that's like forest skirmish and stuff like that are basically just unusable. But with this big open area, it allows you to do a lot in the sandbox. But Total Tank Simulator, one thing that I will say is I would love to see some map customization or map creator thing, which would just really help the game take off. I really think that's something you need to implement. Oh, but boy, look at this. This is exactly what I was just talking about. Now we can get an actual D-Day beach invasion down here. They have listened to the community. Get some bunkers along here. Oh, here we go. We can actually get some bunkers along here, and we can get a Normandy style map invasion. And then we've got a bunch of like buildings, which are going to make for a really interesting fight up this hill, up the beach. Oh, look at these winding roads. And then obviously we got this awesome church with like some sort of like abbey courtyard thing right here, which is pretty cool actually. So they're gonna have to fight through all these buildings to get into the Sicilian kind of countryside. So what I could do is defend all of these, and they've got to come in through the beaches, pretend there's some landing crafts by putting some barracks down or something like that. This could be pretty epic. Again, another pretty solid map, to be honest. Okay, so next up, I've been really impressed with the first three maps, and we're moving on to Forgotten Rivers. I must admit, it does feel a little bit like they've been listening to what the community wants from the maps and implementing it. That big river, and also some hill terrain, and then also a beach Normandy kind of invasion. I feel like they're listening to us, but also it looks like from this loading screen, this Forgotten Rivers, that looks like an aqueduct, so we might have some Roman stuff. Okay, this looks pretty epic. This is a completely different terrain from the rest of the Sicilian terrain. So this is actually pretty epic. It looks like a dried, yeah, that's why it's called Forgotten Rivers. It's a dried up riverbed. Where's that aqueduct? Okay, here is that broken down aqueduct. So it looks like a little bit of ancient Roman architecture, which I'm sure we're going to be crushing with our tanks anytime soon. So this could make for some interesting kind of engagements through here. But again, another massive hill on either side like this with some cliffs. It's going to make it really interesting getting up and round. This is going to be a big choke point, I imagine, which could be really cool. Or you could come up and round. So I think orders. This is almost built quite well for orders, because you could come around, get some flanks off. It's kind of a lot of defendable positions right here. So again, not gonna lie, another pretty cool map. Okay, last but not least, the fifth and final map of the Total Tank Simulator Italy DLC is Mediterranean Vineyards. Now, this looks like it's gonna be quite a colorful map. You can already see this might be one of the more heavily populated maps, which is in its own way has a kind of a benefit to it, because at least there's a diversity and a range of maps here. We've got river features, we've got valleys, we've got mountain features, and we've got a beach. So far, it's been really impressive. Oh, actually, hold on. Here we got another. This looks, it's not nearly as well populated as I thought it was going to be. So this is actually going to be really good, because again, we've got this hill with a church on top of it, which is going to make for some really interesting defense sandbox modes. So I'm actually really happy with that. I don't know why this church has got 2 bells. I'm not sure. Maybe they've done the research there. But I was like, normally churches would have 1 bell, but again, big and open. And again, another little abbey down, like vineyard abbey type thing. I'm not sure. Down here, big open. Again, I really like the color and the vibrance and the kind of the vineyards and the diversity of these kind of maps that they've introduced. So genuinely, pretty good job. I'm quite happy with it. Okay, so now that I've covered all the units and all the new maps, what I want to do is I want to jump into a game and show you some of the units and maps in action, just so you can get an idea of whether or not this is something that you want to pick up. But once again, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you want to see more of this kind of stuff, make sure you subscribe down below. And remember, but also don't forget, we're actually going to be giving away 2 codes courtesy of Total Tank Simulator today on today's video, so make sure you comment and like down below. Remember, the comment is literally just an idea, battle idea for this new Italy DLC, so make sure you comment that down below, and I'll be announcing the random winners in the next video. Okay, so what I've done is I've put down a bunch of Italian units. I've not used any of the German reskins because I didn't think there's any point. You know what those vehicles are. I've put down a bunch of these guys right here. I've got an airfield spawning all the different planes. I got a bunch of banana planes. I don't know what else to call these things. They do look like bananas. And we also have the fire truck slash school bus. I'm gonna go with school bus. I think it's the school bus right here. We have the school bus, hopefully gonna be piling in with a kettle on top. I still have no idea what that thing is, but it's 1,200 points and has 7,000 armor. So it's kind of got to be good. And again, just loads of other units just scattered around. Now there's a lot of points. There's 55,000 points. So my computer is probably going to melt right here. Okay, so I've actually put it down to half speed just to hopefully speed things up a little. Not speed things up, to smooth things out a little bit rather, is what I should have said. Now, where is the battle bus? Okay, well, here is one of the new dive bombers. The very first thing I'm going to do in this is I'm going to drop a... Oh, no. It was a horrific miss. Oh, but look at that beach, that new terrain. Looks pretty epic, I'm not going to lie. Okay, let's leave that guy to do what he wants to do. It looks like the Brits are being swarmed by a whole lot of Italian units right here. Let's see, what's this? Oh, this is one of the... It basically looks like an 88. This is one of the tank destroyers right here. Now, I was gonna say, what does the battle bus do? What does the school bus do? Okay, well, one thing I will say is it's incredibly mobile. Now, as you can see down here, we have an infantry spawner, which literally... Oh, that's what that thing does. It actually shoots infantry into the air, and then you can see its secondary weapon is literally thunder. This thing, I absolutely don't know what this is supposed to be. What? Oh my god. Well, as you can see, this thing's going to be just a little bit overpowered. I don't even know if I'm aiming or having to aim. It's constantly spawning infantry. Oh, it actually is a school bus. It's spawning infantry. Oh, but it doesn't matter, because grenade spam will get you killed no matter what. But it is incredibly mobile, but it is also dead. That thing is literally nuts. I have absolutely no idea what to say about it. But what I do want to do is I want to quickly try out, before the Brits leave, try out this. Oh, look at this. This is a pretty cool jet fighter. That is a very cool jet fighter. Let's see if we can get some shots off before the last Brits die. Here we go. The Brits were invading, but no longer. Little did they know we had a school bus. So, ladies and gentlemen, and that is going to be a quick summary of the Italy DLC, the update that's just come out for Total Tank Simulator. If you enjoyed that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss more of this as it comes out. And also, don't forget to like and comment down below for the code giveaway, which we're actually going to be doing for the next 4 videos straight. So, make sure you stay tuned for that. But also, if you have not seen my last Total Tank Simulator video, there'll be a card in the top right corner of the screen that will take you back to that so you can watch that if you wish. And also, there'll be an end slide popping up now with 2 more videos you can choose from. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.